Hi guys, Piotr here, this Liteforex Global YouTube channel, mixing weather and mixing forecast when it comes to what we are going to discuss today. Euro dollar, we are testing very significant supply level. We will call that as a line in the sand when it comes to the bulls and bears. We are very close to 120, we are testing 1960. So I'm very curious what's going to happen, especially that the Monday is the end of the month and Tuesday we are going to have the last month of the 2020. So watching very carefully the price action more when we are going to jump inside and check the charts. The second thing is oil. It's OPEC week, and the question is, with the latest developments when it comes to the rising prices, well, the oil behave like there wouldn't be any kind of the crisis. I would say like we would be in the rising economic cycle. So from the chart perspective, is it going to be buy the rumor, sell the fact, and we are going to get the technical signals? Well, we will see. And the gold, finally, the break below 1800 down towards our first target 1750. Is it going to stop there? Are the gold bulls going to find the support over there? Are we going to create the bottom? Well, we will see. So guys, without a further delay, let's jump straight and check those three charts. See you inside. Okay, that's the weekly euro dollar, and briefly, because we were discussing this quite a few times, this high, the previous one, so that's been created some kind of the over under, a little bit of the some kind of the possible swing high, but it's not exactly swing high. But anyway, we just hit on Friday the levels we were discussing that are very, very important from the seller's perspective, taking into the consideration the latest price action we've seen here. So 1960, and I started to build a short position medium term when it comes to the euro dollar. But we have to take into the consideration also a little bit bigger picture, and in that case we have to take into the consideration what we've seen to the left, all right? And if that's the case, a little bit higher levels, close to 120.45, 120.50 could be in place. So what we don't want to see as a sellers, we don't want to see double day close above 120 or weekly close above 120.50, because that could provide them further momentum and buying opportunity. And the question is going to be how quick we are going to reach 125 in that case. The level close to 120.50 is supported by the latest price action, taking into the consideration this rally with this pullback, and if we are going to see equal wave to the upside, that could hit 120.50, and if that's going to happen, in my opinion, we are going to see that very early this week. We have to remember that both central banks are gonna be very active later in December, as we have ECB and FOMC. So when it comes to the sellers, I've started to build a short position around 1960 late Friday. Cannot rule it out 120.50. That's where I'm going to eventually scale in, and all about the double day close above 120 or weekly close above 120.50. Well, if you are a buyer, then I think from the medium term perspective, because I do expect some manipulation, more manipulation to come during the December. So if you think about some kind of the buying medium long term, I would say that no earlier than close to 116.20, 116 level, but still, in my opinion, we are going to hit 115, 114.50. That could be the case, and that's something we already discussed quite a few times when it comes to the euro dollar. The picture I drew a second ago is also visible from the daily chart perspective, that's the possible swing high finishing the business. So that's why I've started to trade short side on Friday. We will see. Would be good to get back below 119 as soon as possible. That would be also this. That would be also the move back below. That would open the move below the previous week open in place, and that would also be from the shorter time frame perspective break of the trend line, eventually retest and continuation to the downside. So that's how I see the euro dollar. I'm looking for selling opportunities around the current level and towards 120.50. I'm looking to buy medium long term no earlier than around 115 114.50. So that's what we are going to monitor. Of course, the weekly daily close, double day close above 120 120.50, that could change the picture. The next one is oil. All right, so let's switch to the oil, and here we go. OPEC, that's the name of the game for this week. Oil price action, and we already seen some meetings ahead of the OPEC. We have some comments. For example, Kazakhstan does not support an extension of the current cuts. The Russian companies are looking forward to easing of the cuts thanks to the Amena Twitter account. That's the news. It could be buy the rumor, sell the fact, and well, of course, we broke through the latest high, and the meat of that consolidation gonna work as possible demand. So we have some kind of the demand first around around 42, another demand around 40, and the last one around 35. So that's the three buying zones if you are a extremely strong bull, right? But from the seller's perspective and from the point of the possible buy the rumor, sell the fact, we are testing 50% of that range already, all right, of that particular range we've seen to the left over here, right? And I'm going to look for the price action Monday, Tuesday, because early Monday we might still see some attempt to go higher, right? But I'm looking for these particular levels as the first level to be active seller, and eventually, if you do remember, we drew the very wide zone between 48.50 and 50.50 as another possible supply. So if you are a buyer, you are buying at 42, probably 40 and 35. If you are a seller, you are looking to sell current price action or higher towards 48.50, 50.50. Monitor very closely, and we are going to get back to discuss oil if needed in the mid of the week post OPEC meeting. And the last one is gold, of course. Here finally we broke through 1800, and we are approaching our target of 1750, right? So that's what we were discussing for quite some time. That's our target. There is a little bit of the possible move to the downside. Now, is it going to be end of the moving down for gold? Well, I don't know. We might see some more stop count, but somewhere between 1750, 1700. If you are a buyer, that's your zone for now, right? Well, for me, I'm going to look to try to work with the selling opportunity, and in that case, I'm going to look for levels close to 1850, the breakdown level, right? And eventually half of that consolidation towards 1900. So the buyers around 1750, 1700, sellers again around 1850, 1900. Guys, it was my pleasure to prepare this weekly preview for you. See you around. Take care. Goodbye.